So, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to episode 80 of Jonnychipz Weekly. My name is John Lunn, aka Jonnychipz, and in this episode, we talk all things cloud news, Azure news and updates, Jonnychipz on the side, community callouts, and some other bits and pieces. So, thanks everybody for tuning in. Let's jump straight on to this episode. This is called Bravo. So yes, hey everybody, and welcome to this week's episode. Thanks so much for tuning in. Usual format this week. We're going to do some community call-outs to kick things off, and we're going to move into Jonnychipz on the side, talk a little bit about the Welsh Azure user group, and of course look at our Azure news and updates for the week. So without further ado, let's head on over, do some community call-outs. So first up and straight off the bat, IoT Live is back. So Pete, Cliff, Maria Anastasia are back to talk all things IoT on a Tuesday night. As per usual, I miss it. I did start to watch it back on the replay. It's great to see the team back together doing their usual thing. Hopefully this is going to be back every Tuesday now. It's a weird world we're living in at the minute. Everybody seems to be busy, ridiculously busy. So I appreciate the time that it takes to pull these shows together. So first and foremost, if you are unaware of IoT Live, then you need to be aware. Go and check it out. All your IoT goodness, effectively. Pete, Cliff, Maria Anastasia, heavily involved in that world, and they come on to a live stream once a week at 9 p.m. on a Tuesday, usually at BST. It's on the Azure Live Twitch stream, so you can get to their twitch.com/Azure Live. And yeah, go and check it out. And I know Pete has been doing some blog articles on the new Raspberry Pi Pico W, which is there. There's a blog you can jump on over, take a look at that. He set up a little web server effectively on this new Raspberry Pi Pico W. I'm assuming, I haven't even read what the W stands for. I'm assuming it's got some kind of a wireless chip on it, but I may be assuming. There we go, yes. New Raspberry Pi Pico W board now has onboard Wi-Fi, enabling connectivity of the board. So yeah, for those of you not familiar with the Raspberry Pi Pico, it got launched last year. Maybe a little bit before then, actually. It's been out a little while. It's got the RP2040 chip on it. Really small, low-power processor. They just released this new version with that Wi-Fi connectivity chip enabled on the board, so we can start to connect these things and build IoT devices. And as you can see here, Peter's called out just running a little web server, effectively, on the Raspberry Pi Pico. You can jump on in, take a look, get a little web server up and running yourself. Go and get one of these from Pimoroni or an equivalent shop like the Pi Hut or something like that. Great to see the team back together at IoT Live on a Tuesday. And yeah, keep up the great work, Pete and the team. So looking forward to catching future episodes. Sticking with the IoT theme, Glenn Gilmore retweeted this little infographic, which I thought was great, to be honest, because it's always an interesting conversation that I find when you have a chat with friends, colleagues, customers around IoT. Sometimes it's quite difficult to kind of decipher and explain. If you're fairly new to the world of IoT, how some of these solutions come together and actually what's involved. And I thought this infographic was really good to give that bare bones baseline. In sort of, we need to ingest some data from sensors, and those sensors can be a myriad of things. We need to send that data somewhere. So this is where cloud platforms tend to come in, and of course, connectivity solutions like like Wi-Fi, like 5G, like LoRaWAN, Zigbee, all of these different types of connectivity options that we have for various different applications. They come into play. Do we use gateways? Step 2, Then once we've sent that data, how do we process that data in the cloud? How does it get consumed, and what is actually using it? What services and applications are we sending that data onto, and how are we storing it? before finally kind of visualizing that with alerts, emails, and reports and things like that, and doing some further analysis and maybe even some machine learning on top of it. So it's a really cool little infographic. So thank you, Glenn, for sharing that. I think it was, it's just nice for people to try and understand, right, there are all of these constituent components of an IoT solution. So just nice to be able to talk about them in that way. So anyway, moving on, Mr. Mike Pfeiffer has recorded the final few episodes of Cloud Skills FM podcast. Now, I know Mike will be staying in and around the industry. He's been doing, well, he's a force of nature in the industry, if you ask me, for my own opinion. He's been doing some great stuff, and you can see there, his last episode is really talking about the best career advice he can give after doing 4 years of podcasting. And I personally, I've been doing a little bit of this myself over the last year or so. These episodes are phenomenal. Mike has some fantastic guests on his show, so go and check it out. Reach out to Mike. Like I say, we'll wait and see what Mike is up to next in and around the industry. But interesting that it's got up to episode 149. Go and check it out. Go and show some support, and you won't be disappointed. So thank you, Mike, for all the awesome efforts on your podcast that you've done over the last few years. It's been fantastic. Moving on, Bradford Cloud User Group have announced a second speaker. So their next event is, as I struggle to click on things, on the 20th of July. Oh, wow, you're clashing with us again, Bradford User Group. So Welsh Azure User Group is on the same day. So, God, we're going to have to fight for company on that day. So they got a second speaker anyhow. Mr. Richard Hooper, Pixel Robots. Going to be it's a hybrid event actually as well, so that'll be cool. Good luck with that, guys and gals. That's at the Net Company offices in Leeds. So obviously sign up if you're in or around Leeds and go and show the team some support and attend in person if you can. But equally, they're going to do this as a hybrid event, so it'll be available over the usual meeting bits and pieces. So anyhow, good news, great to see. Moving onwards, Mr. Jake Walsh has been blogging this week about Azure Terraform and the module for identity resources. So he's got a post out there covering the use of the for each meta argument, which is a great way to create resources across multiple regions without having to duplicate code. So if you're interested, head on over to jakewalsh.co.uk or check out jakewalsh90 on the Twitters. Go and show some support. So thanks for that article, Jake. That's phenomenal. And also Jack Roper, my good friend Jack, has been he's always actively blogging. He's got some great articles out there. Go and check his blog out. But and what is it, Jack? You keep moving your blog around. You're on itnext.io now. Let's click on this. itnext. I don't know. Has something changed your name, or have you moved your blog? Who knows? Drop me a line, Jack. But in this article, Jack, it's funny actually, because I was literally speaking to a bunch of colleagues about this only yesterday. So I thought, oh, there we go. That's quite apt. And it's good to see, actually, Jack, that he brought in the whole community cloud. Shared cloud, community cloud. I've heard it called lots of different names. But, it mentions about the different types of cloud. So if you are new to the industry and trying to decipher what is a public cloud, a private cloud, a hybrid cloud, what does multi-cloud mean, all of these different terminologies, go and give Jack a follow, Jack Wesley Roper on Twitters, and go and check out the article. So thank you for that, Jack. And finally, my good friend and colleague Andy Jones has released a video on using FIDO2 security keys for those passwordless authentication configurations that you might need for your organization. It's over on the Cloud Management Community YouTube. So go and check that out. Follow Andy on the Twitters at Andy_69Jones. Go and show some support. But great little video there. Thank you for that, Andy. Good work, everybody, and thank you for all the community contributions for this week. Let's head on over. Okie dokie, let's quickly talk a little bit about the Welsh Azure User Group, because there's been a lot going on in my personal life at the moment. So let's just head on over and see what's going down. So, yes, we've got our next event scheduled for the 20th of July. As I said earlier, 6:30 p.m. BST. At this moment in time, we've got one confirmed speaker with Audrey Meng coming on to talk about GitHub Actions versus that Azure DevOps pipeline. What is the best option? We're going to explore the differences in those two features and product sets. So it's an age-old question, to be honest, that GitHub Action versus ADO pipeline. So go and check it out. Go on RSVP. We're on Meetup. I've unfortunately not been able to secure a second speaker. It's holiday season. Everybody's busy. I'm waiting for some confirmation back at the moment. So as soon as that is back, I'll get the usual graphic up there and obviously that second speaker allocated. But it's going to be a great night. Just Audrey's talk alone is going to be fantastic. I'm really looking forward to that one. So head on over to the Meetup page, Meetup page, get yourself RSVP to get the link to join. It's a virtual event. We're going to give it another month or so before we look to get back in the office down in Cardiff, the Microsoft offices, ideally for the Welsh Shore User Group. But that's about it for now on the Welsh Shore. Like I say, there's been so much going on, and we've got so many things that we want to do as a user group. There's just not enough hours in the day. It's always the same story. So anyhow, that's the WOW news for this week. And let's just have a quick whistle-stop tour through. So Bravo is the name of this this episode this week, and it's for a reason. Let's head on over and find out why. So without labouring the point too much, bravo to all the recently renewed MVPs. Had some cool swag, which I know is from MVP Summit earlier on in the year. Had some cool swag delivered. Didn't get my shiny sticker. Apparently there was a shiny sticker meant to be in the box, but no, what wasn't in mine. In fact, that blue card was on the edge of the box, so it could have quite easily slid out in delivery. But hey, I'm not complaining. That's it's great to receive some swag. Always good to receive some swag. We can't have enough too many hoodies, t-shirts, coffee cups, stickers. We need them in our lives, don't we? But on that note, I'm going to say bravo, because I've unfortunately read a bit of kind of negative views on people celebrating on social media about things, and I get it. Once a year when MVPs are renewed. Look, I was it was my first renewal process this year, so I'm thankful to say that I got renewed, and I'm honoured to kind of be in this company. And reading a few posts, it kind of made you feel a little bit like, oh wow, okay, should we not celebrate our successes? And certainly I understand there's a different viewpoint, but I personally, I try not to subscribe to the negative view on things. If people are there and have worked damn hard and they put a lot of time and effort in, I don't feel it's down to anybody to kind of say, oh, my Twitter feed is full of MVP people saying they're a renewed MVP. Well, don't look at Twitter, or unsubscribe from those people. Certainly don't turn around and have a go at those people. I think it's pretty, from what I saw as well, it's pretty. I don't know. I don't want to call people out as such, but I just felt it was a little bit unnecessary. I think I got where the sentiment was coming from, that the MVP people are feel it's unnecessary for people to praise themselves with their achievements. I don't agree. I think everybody that does something in life, you should be fine to celebrate that you've achieved and you've accomplished something for yourself. And if people have got a problem with that, they've got a problem with you putting that on social medias, then clearly they're a bit of a cynical, grumpy sort of person that you probably don't need in your life anyway. So I unfollowed the person immediately. It's fair to say I didn't even interact with the post. I just thought, not my kind of person. But come on, guys, don't subscribe to the negative Nancys of the world. I get it. I mean, don't, and I say that from a point of view of I was a cynical, grumpy old guy a few years back, and I understand there is a cynical viewpoint, but look, I'm not going to dwell on the negative part again. Just stop doing it, for God's sake. Just err on the side of positivity. Stop being so grumpy. And it's quite funny actually, because I see these same people talk about things like vanity metrics and Twitter followers, and oh, you'll never see me. Why can't I get so many followers? Oh, it's because of this, it's because of that. And the same people have got umpteen numbers of followers because they put out controversial statements like they get people interacting with their posts in a negative way. So negativity sells a lot of the time. So yeah, stop being so negative. Just get on with it. Be positive towards people. And, let's all get along, eh? Let's all celebrate each other's successes, lift each other up where we need to, and let's not shoot each other down. There's no need to shoot each other down. Evidently, there are going to be people that are not your cup of tea. You've got the block, the mute, the unfollow button to do that. Just be happy. Life's too short, I think, is what I put in a post yesterday. Life's too short to be miserable and cynical. Let's just all get along. Anyway, I got on a soapbox there. Sorry, everyone. Let me get off my soapbox for a minute. But yeah, like I say, I am honoured and privileged. I am honoured and privileged to have been awarded for a second year the MVP status. So thank you to everybody that has supported me across the community over the last 12 months. Keep up the fantastic work, everybody. Commiserations if you didn't get renewed this year. I appreciate there are those that didn't get renewed for whatever reason or chose to leave the program for other reasons other than just getting that renewal. So commiserations if you really did want that and it didn't happen for you. Don't give up. Don't give up. Keep on at it. You'll get it back next year, I am sure. This is the thing. Use it as that opportunity to have a renewed, refreshed approach towards things. So anyhow, moving on. Jonnychipz on the side. I'm rattling on a lot here, aren't I? So moving on. It's Friday last week. My guest was Bruno, an awesome guy in Microsoft. With July OT, it was a well-timed episode with Bruno to talk about IoT, how he got into tech, how he got to the point where he's dealing with all the things that he's doing. He's in an advocacy role now as a developer relations person within Microsoft, and yeah, like I say, he is constantly on the go with some awesome content. So if you're interested in IoT, AI, machine learning, vision detection, object detection, go and check out have a look at Bruno's Twitter feed first and foremost, but he's got links to his blogs. You can see it in this post as well. Check out the video below. I put some links to his web pages and Twitter feeds and things like that in there. So huge thanks to Bruno for being such an awesome guest last week. But as always, it's Friday. We got another episode out tonight, and it's none other than with the Miss Christopher Gill. Chris, this was a fantastic chat. He's such a brilliant guy. Really enjoyed the chat with Chris. It's really down to earth, to the point. We talked over so many different topic areas. It was great to just kind of have that chat with somebody in the not just in the community but in the industry that has kind of done similar things to myself across the years. He's on the other side of the pond, Chris is, so really great to kind of say hello as well, as it always is with the guests that come on the show. So yeah, like I say, really great episode with Chris tonight, 6:30 p.m. BST if you can join us. Yeah, give us your feedback, let us know what you think of the show, the episode. Really like to get some feedback on that. So yeah, looking forward to that. Thanks for being a great guest as well, Chris. And finally, last week joined the amazing Script Runner team effectively to do an Ask Me Anything session. So Heiko and Marcus had me on their Script Runner Ask Me Anything show last week, and it was great fun as always. And I think we've committed to something, me and Heiko. So yeah, watch this space. But if you want to go and check that out, head on over to Heiko's YouTube channel there, or follow Heiko Bren on the Twitters, and yeah, let us know what you think. So there we go. That's the Jonnychipz on the side for this week. Okie doke, all that's left to do now this week is let's get on with our Azure news and updates. And good afternoon and welcome to this week's Azure News and Updates. I'm John Lunn. Oh, of course I am. I haven't changed. I've just been on the other screen. So anyway, let's get on with it. Quite a few updates for this week. Public preview and some GA announcements. So without further ado, up first, public preview. The Azure Percept Dev Kit for June 2022 has got a software update available. So 2206. New OS firmware, over-the-air package, or you can update it via the USB cable if you've got that Azure Percept Dev Kit, which is the camera, the sound, in that little kit in itself, the IoT kit. Get on over there, review the update strategy, get it updated, and we'll just get it updated. It's new firmware. There's going to be new features and things. I don't know what they are because should we have a little look? See, come on, I don't normally click on these things, but let's have a look. OS. Data security updates. Okay, so it's just a bunch of OS updates. Yeah, okay. Go and get it done all the same. Limited preview. Smart tiering to Vault Archive tier for Azure backup. So we can now configure our backup policies. This is limited preview as well, by the way. So to automate your Vault Archive tier for the Azure virtual machines, SQL Server, SAP HANA in Azure VMs. This will ensure that the eligible and recommended recovery points in the case of an Azure virtual machine, I can't speak, are automatically moved to the Vault Archive tier. This is done on a periodic and interval timeline and based on the settings mentioned in the policy. You can also specify the number of days which you want your recovery points to be moved to the Vault Archive tier. Well, that's pretty cool. So I'm guessing, we can archive our backups to save costs of storage, I'm assuming, is the primary thing here. We can move it to cooler tier storage, I'm assuming. Just trying to find something to back that up there, but no pun intended. Did you get that there? Back that up? Yeah, bad. Okay, so anyway, it's in limited preview, smart tiering. We can start to move our backups across different levels of storage. Like I say, the primary thing there for me would be to save some cost, not to have all your backups stored on a particularly expensive premium disk or whatever it may be. We can start to offload and archive some of those backups to other storage areas by the looks of things. Next up, public preview, ephemeral OS disk support for confidential virtual machines. Okay, didn't realize confidential virtual machines didn't use ephemeral disks. So as part of our commitment to delivering the best possible value for Azure confidential computing, we're announcing the support to create confidential VMs using ephemeral OS disks. This enables customers using stateless workloads to benefit from the trusted execution environments. Trusted execution environments protect data from being accessed externally and a part of the trusted execution environment. So, okay, cool. That's good to see. I've not done a whole heap of things with confidential compute at the moment. Not come across the requirements. I want to dig into it just to kind of cement those thoughts and the principles around that. So interested to see that we got the ephemeral disk support in there now as well. Like I said, I didn't realize that wasn't a thing until now. So there we go. Generally available, enabling JBoss EAP on Azure Red Hat OpenShift. Okay, not going to dig into that one. Public preview, user assigned managed identity support for Azure Monitor Agent. So AMA replaces those traditional log analytics agents. If you remember last year, Microsoft kind of consolidated. They had a lot of agents out there. They've consolidated into this Azure Monitor agent package, I suppose is the best way to call it. It looks like now they're giving the support for user-assigned managed identity for that AMA. So it's more scalable, more resilient compared to a system-assigned identity. And it's now a recommended way at scale for installation of the agent extension on any VMs or VM scale sets. So, so user-assigned managed identity support on AMA. More public preview, Container Insights now supports Windows Server 2022. Okay, cool. I'm not going to dig in too much. GA, Application Insights Standard Test for Synthetic Monitoring. Brilliant. More GA announcements. Azure Active Directory Authentication for Application Insights. Superb. More GA, Azure Digital Twins Data History. Okay, I'm going to read this one out a little bit now. So Azure Digital Twins History allows you to connect your Azure Digital Twin instance to an Azure Data Explorer cluster. I'm going to give up speaking in a minute. I don't know what's going on. So we can connect our digital twin instance to our Azure Data Explorer cluster. Tongue twisters. So that digital twin property updates are automatically historized to Azure Data Explorer. I've never seen that word before. Once twin property values are historized to Azure Data Explorer. Is that a word? Is that a word? I don't know. Must be. It has to be. You can run joint queries using the Azure Digital Twins plugin for the ADE, Azure Data Explorer, to reason across digital twins, their relationships, time series data, and gain those insights. Okay, cool. I mean, as I've said before, the amount of innovation going on the IoT space, certainly with the Azure Digital Twin, and kind of that 3D modeling, 2D, 3D modeling is phenomenal at the moment, and really looking forward to doing something in anger with that platform, hopefully fairly soon. More GA announcement: Azure Functions retry policy for event hubs and timer triggers. So you can now set a retry policy using event hubs or timer triggers that re-executes a function until successful execution, or a maximum number of retries has occurred. PostgreSQL Hyperscale support PostgreSQL minor versions, generally available updates. Public preview migration tools for Azure Monitor Agent. So that Azure AMA again, it provides cost-effective, simplified and performant way to collect telemetry data from VMs in Azure and VM scale sets, Arc-enabled servers, Windows client devices. Okay, so you must migrate from the old log analytics agent, the MMA. That's a point. Yeah, the MMA or the OMS agents. That's what I mean. They had a lot of different agents out there, so they're consolidating. You've got to migrate before August 2024. So to make it easier, Microsoft have launched a public preview of the agent migration tool. So you can now automate the migration of agents using these tools with built-in policies. There's a diagram below, apparently. There's not. I guess it's on here. Let's have a little look. See, there we go. Okay. That's cool. So anyway, if you do have some of the down level, oh look at that! It's just opened up over itself. There we go. Open a new window. That link, yeah. Okay. So anyway, if you do have some of those other agents on there, there's some public preview documentation and tooling now to help you migrate and automate that migration of the agents over to the new Azure Monitor agent. So cool to see. Generally available at Azure Archive Storage, now available in South Africa North. Superb. Application Insight standard test for synthetic monitoring is generally available. And final thing for this show is public preview of Azure IoT Central REST API releases now live. Super of the duper. So yeah, anyhow, there we go. Thank you for tuning in this week. That's been our Azure news and updates for the week. I've been John Lunn. Let's head back on over. Okay, thank you everybody for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Apologies for the soapbox moment, but let me know your thoughts. I mean, I am intrigued to understand where people sit with things like self-congratulatory messages that you put on social media. Certainly it seems to be splitting opinion at the moment for whatever reason, but let me know in the comments below what you think about that. I think I've stated my view on it. I appreciate that my view isn't always the correct view, but certainly I think leaning more towards the land of positivity, the negativity, is certainly a good thing. So anyhow, let me know what you thought. Drop us a note or a comment in the comments box below. That'd be awesome. But till next week, I've been John Lunn. Thanks for tuning in. See you all very soon. Have a nice weekend.